Hello everyone, welcome back to iCAD. Today, I will show you how to design a parametric model using cloud-based design tool. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is a cloud-based design tool? A cloud-based design tool is a CAD software that runs entirely online. There's no installation requirement, no specific hardware requirements. Just open a web browser, log in, and then start designing. Your files are saved automatically in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about saving them manually, install updates, or even searching through folders to find them. Everything is securely stored and accessible from anywhere. The specific cloud-based design tool that I'll be showing you today is xDesign. xDesign is a cloud-based 3D modeling app within the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. It lets you create, edit, and collaborate on parametric solid modeling. So there's no software installation required. Just log into 3DEXPERIENCE, and if you have access to xDesign or 3D Creator role, you're ready to start designing anytime, anywhere. So now that we know what xDesign is, let's jump right in and start creating our first parametric model. Since this is the first design of the tutorial, I've taken a very simple part file. This should be pretty simple to create as it's a symmetric model, so we can mirror features and a few holes and ribs. That's it. That's pretty much it. So let's get started. Our first design in xDesign. Okay. So as soon as I click on new component, you can see three fields. One is name. Of course, you have to provide the name of the file before you create here. So this will be the first 3D tutorial. So I'll say 3D tutorial 1. And the location is basically the collaborative space, in which collaborative space you want to save the file. And the bookmark is basically, it's similar to what's folders in your SOLIDWORKS. I have my own bookmark already made for that. As you can see here, 3D tutorial. Just select that, set. So whenever I create a 3D tutorial, I'm going to save that particular design file inside this 3D tutorial bookmark, so that I can easily navigate where my files are. Since it's symmetrical, okay, now I'll take the YZ plane and sketch the base, and then give it some dimensions. This should be 10, and this should be 40. Then I'll extrude it. Features contains all your normal SOLIDWORKS features, part features like extrude, revolve, cut extrude, or sweep. So I'll extrude it from mid plane since it's symmetrical, and that's about 80 mm. Next, I'll give some fillet, which is 20 mm here. Yep, I could have zoomed, but I forgot to zoom. Anyways, now we have our two fillets. Okay, the next step is extruding the cylinder at the center, since we're going to mirror it later. Okay. And I'll trim this part because I'm going to mirror it later. The diameter of that particular cylinder is 34, so the radius should be 17. Features, extrude, and we're going to extrude it for 40 mm. Yes, and let's create that center hole. I'll trim this part because we need a semicircle, and the dimension of this particular hole is 18 mm, so the radius is 9. Features. Now instead of extrude, it's extruded cut, and instead of blind, it's through all. Yes. Okay, the next step is to create the rib. I'll take the YZ plane and I'll start sketching. Take the line and then draw a line so that we need to make sure the edges of the line meets the horizontal line, and here, and the next thing we need to make sure is this particular point is coincident with this surface. And now we have the relation coincident. The next step is to give dimensions. Now from this point to this vertical line, the distance is 4 mm, and the vertical distance of the rib is 37 mm. Now that we have everything, let's go to features and click on rib. Now body midplane. Okay, in rib orientation, make sure your option is set to parallel to sketch plane, not perpendicular to sketch plane. Otherwise your rib will give an error. This is our target body on which we need the rib, and our sketch is sketch 5. And from mid plane, a rib has to start from mid plane. Make sure that you check this box, and the thickness of the rib is 5 mm. Done. Now we have a rib. The last but one step is to create the hole. So we need to make sure there are 4 holes, but I'll just create one and then we'll pattern it later. So before creating the hole, we need to make sure there is a sketch, there's a point, so that we know where to place the hole. I'll go to top view and then give dimension to this particular hole. It should be 27.5 mm, because the distance from center of hole to center of hole is 55 mm. Now let's save this sketch. Go to features, create hole. Now select straight, size is 6 mm, and the diameter is 6 mm, of course, and then the hole depth is through all. Let's go to placement and select this particular point that we created, and ignore construction geometry, yes, quick preview, yes, and done. Now we have our hole. Let's mirror the geometry. Okay, features, bodies. Mirror plane is this, and the bodies to mirror is this. Now check merge result because we don't want 2 bodies. Done. The last step is creating pattern. Circular pattern, and features that has to be mirrored are rib and the hole. We want the pattern axis is the cylinder itself, and how many do we need? We need 4, and amongst the 4, then click OK. Voila, your model is now ready.